A new report claims that the Walt Disney Company and its executives instructed its subsidiary Pixar to stop pushing disordered homosexuality in its recently released Ilio film. Roll this up over at phantompulse.com. You can find the link in the description below. This report comes in the wake of Elio releasing to theaters. The movie was directed by Adrian Molina, Madeline Sharafian, and Domi Shi. I think Adrian Molina departed halfway through production or something like that to go work on Coco 2. At least that is the official storyline. This Hollywood Reporter article, this report that we're about to talk about, claims that he left because Disney executives were making too many changes to his movie, and that is why he left. And apparently a bunch of other people left too, but I think he's still at Disney, and he's working on Coco 2. But anyways, that film hit theaters. Elio did June 20th and quickly became a box office loser. It only grossed $20.8 million in its opening weekend and has only earned a total of $41.9 million domestically and just $30.3 million internationally for a global gross of $72.3 million. I think it has to make around $450 million to break even because I think it has like a $150 million production budget, and that's the low estimates from the Access media sites. I think in this report, Ryan Gajewski over at the Hollywood Reporter has an insider tell him that it costs $200 million to make, which means it has to do at least $600 million to break even. And I don't think it's going to do that based on its current trajectory. So, as I said, this new report about Walt Disney executives somehow axing gay propaganda from Ilio comes from Ryan Gajewski over at the Hollywood Reporter. And he said this: according to multiple insiders who spoke to the Hollywood Reporter, Elio was initially portrayed as a queer-coded character reflecting original director Adrian Molina's identity as an openly gay filmmaker. Other sources say that Molina did not intend the film to be a coming-out story, as the character is 11. But either way, this characterization gradually faded away throughout the production process as Elio became more masculine following feedback from leadership. Gajewski claims that Disney executives cut Elio's affection for environmentalism and fashion, as well as a scene in his bedroom that suggested he was gay and had a male crush. One anonymous Pixar artist said that the intention was to depict the child as a homosexual. This individual said it was pretty clear through the production of the first version of the film that studio leaders were constantly sanding down these moments in the film that alluded to Elio's sexuality of being queer. The artist also shared, suddenly you remove this big key piece, which is all about identity, and Elio just becomes about totally nothing. The Elio that is in theaters right now is far worse than Adrian's best version of the original. However, another Pixar employee also said this: Elio was just so cute and so much fun and had so much personality, and now he feels much more generic to me. Former Pixar assistant editor Sarah Ligatich, she's the only one who actually went on record. She also was part of Pixar's LGBTQ plus propaganda group, Pix Pride. She told Gajewski this: I was deeply saddened and aggrieved by the changes that were made. Additionally, she claimed a number of people departed the project due to the changes that executives made, saying the exodus of talent after that cut was really indicative of how unhappy a lot of people were that they had changed and destroyed this beautiful work. If they had actually left because they decided not to depict this character as a sodomite at age 11 and try to normalize that to other children watching the show and their families, that is a huge win. We don't need these people working at Pixar anymore so that they can spread this propaganda even further, no matter how kind of subtle it is. It should not be spread, and clearly those people want to spread that propaganda, and if they've left, that is a great thing because they no longer have access to the institution of Pixar to spread that propaganda. So that is really, really good. Now, obviously, who replaces them, etc. That is that's another video. That's another video, right? Because you don't want to have them be replaced by even worse propagandists. You want them to be replaced by actual good, upstanding, moral people. What is interesting is this report comes in the wake of a previous one regarding Inside Out 2 that claimed Disney instructed leadership to make the film's main protagonist Riley less gay. That report came from IGN's Alex Stedman last September, and he said the apparent hesitance to touch on LGBTQ themes and storylines in particular affected Inside Out 2's development, according to several of our sources. Multiple people recall hearing about continuous notes to make Riley the main character of both Inside Out movies come across as less gay, leading to numerous edits that ramped up around September 2023 after the resolution of the WGA strike, Writers Guild of America strike. In 2022, it was also made apparent to the public that Pixar had been taken over by LGBTQ plus propagandists when the company's employees penned an open letter to Disney leadership expressing their anger that the Walt Disney Company was not opposing a bill that banned LGBTQ plus propaganda in Florida schools aimed at children in kindergarten through third grade. Remember, they were trying to teach gender ideology and all this other disgusting, sick nonsense. And the media and all of these left-wing activists tried to decry that bill, calling it the Don't Say Gay bill, when all it was doing was banning that type of propaganda to children in grades kindergarten through third grade. That's right. The state of Florida did not want public school teachers pushing this propaganda on 5-year-olds, which there is no reason that they should have ever been doing that in the first place. Anyone doing that should, in my opinion, be arrested and face justice for that. As part of the letter, the employee stated, "We are calling on Disney leadership to immediately withdraw all financial support from the legislators behind the Don't Say Gay bill, to fully denounce this legislation publicly, and to make amends for their financial involvement. While signing on to donate to the HRC is a step in the correct direction, the shareholder meeting on Wednesday made it clear that this is not enough. Throughout the shareholder meeting, Disney did not take a hard stance in support of the LGBTQI+ community. They instead attempted to placate both sides and did not condemn hateful messages shared during the question and answer portion of the meeting. This is not what it means to unequivocally stand in support of our LGBTQ+ employees, their families, and their communities." The employees also alleged that Disney had shaved down. That's interesting language, right? We saw this in this open letter. They're using it in that one anonymous artist using it in what he told Ryan Gajewski at the Hollywood Reporter, right? Similar language, very interesting right there. But had shaved down LGBTQ+ propaganda from their films. "We at Pixar have personally witnessed beautiful stories full of diverse characters come back from Disney corporate reviews, shaved down to crumbs of what they once were. Nearly every moment of overtly gay affection is cut at Disney's behest, regardless of when there is protest from both the creative teams and executive leadership at Pixar. Even if creating LGBTQIA+ content was the answer to fixing the discriminatory legislation in the world, we are being barred from creating it. Beyond the inspiring content that we aren't even allowed to create, we require action." So if this report is true from Ryan Gajewski, which I kind of doubt, because I think there's lots of evidence that shows that the Walt Disney Company is totally fine with the LGBTQ+ agenda. They literally have pride parades in their parks in San Francisco, at Disneyland. I guess it's in Anaheim, right? Not San Francisco. So in California out there, we know that they're pushing this stuff. They just recently released Ironheart. There are two characters that are clearly confused about their sex. They pretend to be the opposite of what they are. One of them actually thinks that they are the opposite sex in real life, or they pretend to be the opposite sex in real life, not just in the show. And they're pushing that. They're pushing that on Disney Plus through Marvel. So this idea that somehow Disney executives are telling Pixar to tone it down, you can't be doing this, I find that very hard to believe, given the fact that we see everything that the Walt Disney Company does to promote this propaganda, this agenda. Now, if they stopped doing that and they actually started preaching and pushing Christian morality, then maybe I will be convinced that this is true. But at this point, I just don't buy it. I have a feeling this is the LGBTQ+ agenda at work here. They're trying to get Disney to push more of this stuff by claiming that they are somehow being suppressed, that they are victims. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, and to always, always speak the truth.
Why would you be afraid of the people? Why are you not afraid of God instead of man?